You know that feeling when you wish your computer could just get you? I'm not talking about fetching a piece of information, but like actually doing the tedious, multi-step stuff you ask it to. Well, get ready, because the next generation of AI is being built to do exactly that. They're called operating system agents, or OS agents for short, and they're about to totally change the game for how we use our tech.
Yeah, I'm talking about something straight out of the movies. If you've seen Iron Man, you know Jarvis, Tony Stark's amazing AI sidekick. For decades, that's been the sci-fi dream, right? An AI that's not just a search engine, but a real partner. Well, believe it or not, that dream is getting really close to reality.
So let's just think about this for a second. I mean, forget asking your assistant to set an alarm or play a song. What if it could plan your entire vacation? We're talking flights, hotels, the whole shebang, all by itself. Or maybe take a chaotic folder of files and whip up a detailed sales report for you. That is the level of complexity we're talking about, and that's exactly what these OS agents are being built to handle.
So let's dive into the Jarvis dream. To really get what's going on here, we have to understand what makes these agents so radically different from the assistants we're used to. And I want to be clear, this isn't just a small upgrade, it's a whole new ballgame for AI.
Okay, so here's the key idea. An OS agent is an AI that can literally see and use your computer or phone screen, the graphical user interface, the GUI, just like a person would. It looks at the icons, it reads the text on the screen, and it can actually use the mouse and keyboard to get things done for you.
And we're talking about a massive leap in what they can do. Think about it. Today's assistants handle simple single-shot commands, but OS agents, they can tackle complex, multi-step projects that require real context, some serious planning, and juggling a bunch of different apps. Honestly, it's the difference between a simple calculator and a full-blown financial analyst.
Okay, so how does this magic actually happen? I mean, how can a piece of software see and use a computer? Let's break it down. It's basically a simple loop that explains how an agent experiences and interacts with its world.
It really all boils down to a simple three-step loop. First up, you've got the environment. That's just your computer desktop or your phone screen. Second, the agent observes that environment. Think of this as its senses. It's basically taking a screenshot and analyzing every single thing on it. And then, based on what it sees, it takes an action with its hands, moving the cursor, clicking a button, or typing some text. And it just keeps doing that. Observe, decide, act, over and over and over, until the job is done.
And this observation skill has to be incredibly flexible. I mean, the agent has to make sense of any screen you can possibly throw at it. It doesn't matter if it's a super dense Excel spreadsheet or just a simple settings menu on your phone. The AI has to understand the layout, figure out what's clickable, and read all the text to know what its next move should be.
And all of this really hinges on three core skills. First, there's understanding. That's the ability to look at a really cluttered, busy screen and not get totally lost. Second is planning. This is where it breaks down a big, vague goal like, find me the best flight to Paris, into a bunch of small, logical steps. And finally, and this is so important, there's grounding. This is what connects the plan to the real world. It's the skill of translating a step like click the search button into the exact coordinates on the screen and then actually making that click happen.
All right, so that's what these agents do. Now for the really fun part. How do you build one? How do you actually create the brain for an OS agent? Well, it's a pretty wild process that uses some of the most cutting-edge AI out there. Let's walk through the basic recipe. So at the very heart of an OS agent is something called a foundation model. This is a huge AI, kind of like the ones behind GPT or Claude, but this one has gone to a very special kind of school. It hasn't just been trained on text and images from the internet, it's been specifically taught how to use a computer. And this training process basically happens in three big stages. It all starts with pre-training. This is like teaching it the ABCs. It learns the absolute fundamentals, like how to spot buttons, menus, and text just by looking at screenshots. Then it moves on to supervised fine-tuning. Here, it's shown millions of examples, like a student watching a teacher solve a problem over and over. Here's the command, and here are the exact clicks you need to make. And finally, it graduates to reinforcement learning. This is where they let the agent loose in a safe, simulated world to try stuff on its own. It gets rewarded when it does something right, and it learns from its mistakes. This is where it goes from being a student to a true master.
Now, as amazing as all this sounds, let's pump the brakes for a second. We're not quite in that Jarvis world yet. Because bringing this kind of tech to billions of people, well, it comes with incredible potential, but also some really serious challenges that we absolutely have to figure out.
Let's start with the good stuff, because the potential here is just staggering. Imagine personal automation for your entire workflow. A graphic designer could just say, hey, take these 10 product photos, strip out the backgrounds, resize them for the website, and upload them. Done. Or a researcher could ask, summarize the key takeaways from these 20 papers and whip up a presentation. This isn't just about saving a few minutes here and there. We're talking about a massive boost to productivity and creativity. We're talking about having a digital partner that actually learns and grows with you.
But before we get to that future, we have to deal with some major hurdles. I mean, think about it. An agent that has the keys to your entire digital kingdom, your emails, your bank account, your private files, that's a huge responsibility, and it raises some fundamental questions. On safety and privacy, how do we stop someone from misusing it? Or even stop the agent itself from going rogue? What about data protection? Who actually owns and controls all the personal info this thing is going to see? And maybe most importantly, reliability. How can we ever trust it? How do you know that when you say delete some old photos, it won't accidentally delete your entire family album? These aren't just little bugs to fix. They are massive, foundational challenges.
And look, even the researchers who are building this stuff say the stakes are incredibly high. This isn't some niche gadget we're talking about. This technology has the potential to completely change how billions of us live and work with our devices. Getting this right isn't just important, it's everything.
So as we wrap this up, here's the bottom line. OS agents are coming. There's no doubt about it. The technology is just moving way too fast. So the real question we all need to start thinking about isn't if they're going to be a part of our lives, but who we will empower them to be. What kind of rules do we need to set? How do we make sure they truly help us safely and reliably? This is the future that we are all right now building together.